Welcome to Wheezy MMA. I'm Wheezy. UFC Fight Night, Burns vs. MALOTT is going down this Saturday, and I'm going to give you my predictions over the entire card. On paper, this is not a good card. The fights will probably be okay, but this is like what is really the point of this card? The biggest name on here is Gilbert Burns, and he's on a 4-fight losing streak. I still fuck with Burns, but you know what I mean? So, let's just get right into it. We'll go down to the early prelim opener of Jamie Siraj versus John Giannis. I think I'm going to take Jamie Siraj to win this fight. He's got a really solid ground game. He trains at TriStar. He's got the home field advantage in this fight. And John Giannis is 0-1 in the UFC, with his loss coming via rear naked choke. And that seems like Siraj's bread and butter, to tell you the truth. He's very, very proficient with taking the back and choking you out. So I think he's going to get this one done. Jamie Siraj to get it done in his debut. Next up the card, we have John Castaneda versus Mark Vlogden. Vlogden had a sick contender series fight. He got a contract off of a loss, and he just looked like a little miniature tank. I'm gonna take him to win this fight. He is a fair amount smaller, 3 inch shorter. He's giving up 6 inches in reach, but I mean he is a good fighter. He's got a solid stand up game. And Castaneda's dropping down from featherweight. So I mean that might be good for him. But I don't like him in this fight. Obviously if it was at 45, I'd be taking him all day long. But Vlogden he looked really, really good. He didn't really have much defense. I do have to say that it did not seem like he was very defensively minded in his contender series fight. But that could change. He is young. He could just tweak a few things and come out looking like a world killer. So I will be taking Mark Vlogden to win this fight. I don't like Castaneda. I do not like Castaneda in this fight. I do think he can probably beat some bantamweights, but I rank Vlogden very, very highly. So I will be taking him to win this fight. Next up the card. Got J.J. Aldrich versus Jamie Lynn Horth. I will be taking Jamie Lynn to win this fight. Not much to say other than I think she's just better than J.J. Aldrich. She's given up an inch in reach, but she's the taller fighter. I think she's going to be more physical. Jamie Lynn Horth to win this one. Next up the card, we got Mitch Raposo versus Alan Nascimento. I think Raposo's going to get this one done. Nascimento is starting to get up there in age. He's not super old, but he is starting to get up there in age for a flyweight. And he's already missed weight a couple of times throughout his career. So I think the weight cut could start getting to him in these next few fights, Raposo has solid hands. He's got good power in his hands. He's got a decent ground game, but it's not like, it's nothing spectacular. Uh, Nascimento is definitely the much better um, ground fighter for sure. But I just think Raposo's gonna find his chin in this fight. Um, not a whole lot to base that off of other than vibes. Really is what it is. But yeah, I think Raposo's going to win this fight. Next up the card, we got Melissa Croden versus Daria Zelezniakova. Hoofda, that's a mouthful. Oof. I think I'm gonna take Melissa Croden to win this fight. She has been more active, and they're fairly even in reach and size. So I don't know. I think in theory, this could be a decent scrap. They're both strikers, so I don't really see it going to the ground. I think Croden's gonna get this one done. Yeah, I mean, not a lot to say about this. Like I said earlier, this is not the best card. So we're just gonna move on. Melissa Croden to win this fight. Next up, we got Tanner Boser versus Gokhan Sardakham. I'm gonna take Sardakham. He's big. He's strong. He's not like a true heavyweight, but he's been fighting at heavyweight longer. Boser, it's tough for me to choose him to win. He definitely could. He could go out there and catch Sardakham for sure. But I just think Sarkham's much more well-rounded. I think he's the better grappler. I do think he has better power in his hands. And I think he's going to put Boser away. It's his first fight back to the UFC after a little bit of a layoff. He fought in some regional, like UAE Warriors or something over there. And the guy he fought was able to take him down and then just gassed himself out. So, I'm gonna go Gokhan Sardakham to win this fight. Next up, ooh baby, we got Julien LeBlanc versus Robert Valentin. I'm gonna take Valentin. I do not rate LeBlanc's competition highly, and I do not rate someone who trains out of a kung fu gym highly. Sorry, but that's just I don't think that's the best place to learn fighting. Is kung fu. I could be wrong. I might have to eat my words. But I think Valentin's just much more physical. He's much more athletic. He's just better all around. And he's just a crazy Swiss man, So I will be taking Robert Valentin to win the prelim main event. I don't think it's going to go good for LeBlanc. Historically, on the Canadian cards, the Canadian women do well and the Canadian men do not. So it is tough for me to choose a Canadian man to win a fight in Canada. So, I gotta go Robert Valentin to win this fight. Next up, we have Dennis Bazooka versus Marcio Barbosa. I think I think Marcio Barbosa is gonna knock out Bazooka in the first round. Um, 14 of his 17 wins. I think he's 17-1, 17-2, something like that. He's got a solid record. Um, 14 of his 17 wins are by knockout. Bazooka's been chinned. I think he's getting dumped bad in this fight, and I think Barbosa is going to come away victorious with the KO win. I'm thinking, I'm thinking mid to late first round, early second round. Like maybe Bazooka just barely survives till the bell, and then first exchange of the second round, he's out. But I mean, result result's gonna be the same regardless. Barbosa by KO. Next up, we got Thiago Moises versus Gage Young. I'm I'm gonna take Gage Young. I'm gonna take old G Money to win this fight. Moises definitely has a lot more experience for sure. I just they're the same size, and I think Young is just gonna be a I think he's gonna be a lot more physical in there. And while he's in there, I think he's really worked on his striking. Um, in the lead up to this fight. So while he's in there, I think he's going to be hitting, ripping the body, staying in close, and I think he's going to find Moises' chin. I think he's going to put him away while in the pocket. I think they're going to be swinging in the pocket, and Young's gonna catch him, just put him down. Um, yeah, I mean Moises definitely has a better sub game for sure. The ground, I would say he's probably better on the ground all around. Young has decent takedowns though, so that might be the saving factor for this one is takedown and takedown defense. I think Gage Young is gonna get this one done. Next up the card, we have Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Karine Silva. Whew. I think Jasmine's going to win this fight by a stereotypical WMMA performance. I don't really see either of these guys finishing each other. Um, yeah, I think it's gonna go to decision, and Jasmine's gonna get the win. She's the hometown girl, so I think if it goes to the judges' scorecards, she's getting the win for sure. Jasmine Jasudavicius. Next up, this is actually kind of a sick fight. We have Mandel Nalo, old rat garbage himself, versus Jai Herbert. This is kind of a tough one, but I will be going with Nalo. I think Mandel is going to win this fight. Um, I think his real nickname's Mongo. Like his fight nickname is Mongo, but his Instagram's rat garbage, and I think that's freaking hilarious. So we're gonna he is rat garbage from now on. I think he should just change his name to rat garbage. Be like one of those Thai fellas who changes their name to like Batman or whatever for Muay Thai. Rat garbage. Uh, who wants to fight rat garbage? You know what I mean? But he is very very skilled on the feet. He is good in the on the ground game. I think he's gonna win this fight. Um, he's got big power. He's not like huge power, but he's got solid power. Um, I've seen Herbert just get starched before, so that's kind of all I'm thinking here is Nalo's gonna do what he normally does and just I think he's like 14-3, 15-3 or something. So he's got a decent record. He's been fighting decent competition. Um, Yeah, I mean, I will be taking Mandel Nalo to win this fight. Next up, we have the co-main event of Kyler Phillips versus Charles Jourdain. I think Jourdain's going to win this fight. Ever since he dropped to bantamweight, he has looked very, very good. And I think that's going to continue. You know, Phillips isn't very active. He hasn't fought since July of 2025. So, I mean, it's not, that's, you know, you're not out a long, long time, but Jourdain's fought in November or December of 25. So he is the fresher or more active, I suppose you could say. Yeah, I mean, Jourdain's looked good. This guy's hilarious. Also, if you look at his Instagram, this guy is just straight comedy. He's very good on the ground. He's got decent stand-up now. He has cleaned up his stand-up a lot. I'm taking Jourdain to win this fight. Yeah, I mean, Phillips is just... I think if Phillips can't just muscle you, if he's not better than you, I guess you could say, in the grit department, if he's not just a meaner, tougher guy, you're gonna win the fight. You don't have to be more technical than him. You have to be grittier. You have to be tougher. You have to be willing to go through some stuff and not give up. And I don't think Jourdain's going to do that. I think he might lose the first. I think he might come out slow. But I think Jourdain's going to get this one done by I'm going by sub. Jourdain by sub in the third. Yeah. Next up, we have the main event. We have number 11 ranked Gilbert Burns facing Mike MALOTT. This is a tough one, alright? Gilbert's 0-4 in his last 4, but I really don't rate those losses all too bad. He fought Bilal on his title run, JDM on his title run. He fought Sean Brady, who had only lost to Bilal at that point. And then he just lost to Michael Morales. Those 4 guys are very solid competition. I don't trust Mike MALOTT. Honestly. I mean, he gassed himself out by beating Neil Magny and then got TKO'd in front of a Canadian crowd. I mean, hey, it could be an opposite of the Drew Dober situation, Instead of beating guys like this up, he loses to these guys. Especially in front of his home crowd. So, I will be going with Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert's going to get this one done. He's got to be hungry, man. He has got to be hungry. And I think he's better than Mike MALOTT. On the ground, for sure. He is definitely a better grappler. On the feet, he's got some power. I wouldn't be surprised if he catches MALOTT, if he doesn't drop him, stumbles him, gets him jelly-legged going up into the fence and then they clinch or whatever. But yeah, I will be taking Gilbert Burns to win this fight. Like I said, not the best card. But I guess the UFC knows what they're doing because I will be tuning in for it this Saturday. So, that's how she goes, I guess. Yeah, thank you for watching. This has been Wheezy MMA. I'm Wheezy, and I'm out. Have a good one.